Stupendous! Will tonight be stupendous? Night 1 certainly wasn't. And before I go through night 2, before I go through the card and get my preview and predictions, I hate this whole new WrestleMania format. I really do hate it. Being split into 2 nights. Last night, you had, obviously, night 1. You had 7 matches. It lasted about 4 hours. And there was also a 2-hour pre-show. Why would you have a 2-hour pre-show for a 4-hour show? And you can guarantee tonight, we're probably going to have the same thing. We're probably going to have another 2-hour pre-show. And I actually think tonight's WrestleMania will be longer than night 1. I wouldn't be surprised if night 2 goes like 5 hours. So for me, the whole schedule, the whole format, it's completely messed up. A pre-show should be no longer than an hour. But what they're doing on the pre-show is they're showing us packages that we've seen for the last couple of weeks on Raw and SmackDown. And then, before the match happens, they show you the same package. I mean, how many times do you see the package? I remember back in the day that you had to wait until the match before, like, the actual match. Like, so, for example, Elimination Chamber 2002 Survivor Series. You have the whole. You don't really get to see much, and then just before the match starts, you get the promo. You get the Elimination Chamber Bischoff, talking 10 tons of solid steel, and then you see all that. But I mean, nowadays, how many times have they showed us the rivalry between, let's say, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns over the past couple weeks? How many times have we seen it, man? It's way too fucking many. We've seen it last night on the pre-show. We'll see it tonight again on the pre-show, and then we'll see it again before the match happens. So I don't get it. To me, it is way too fucking much. It is way too much, and another 2-hour pre-show is not what we need tonight. And before I get into the card, one more thing I want to say. The night the New Day are taking on Sheamus and Butch, or Sheamus and that other fucking guy, the guy that broke Big E's neck. Now, they were supposed to face each other last night, but the match is now being moved to tonight, and that just confirms to me that I'm pretty sure the Austin match was not supposed to happen. I'm pretty sure that Austin was originally supposed to just do the KO show, and I think sometime over the last 48 hours, McMahon has got Austin to change his mind, because it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. All of a sudden, they're doing a KO show. Austin then has a match, and that match gets the New Day match gets moved to tonight. If Austin was having a match, that would be fucking huge. You would be billing that from the first moment you knew about it. You'd be saying, "Oh, it's going to be Austin competing in his first match." It wouldn't be, "Oh, Austin's going to be on the KO show." So for me, they've obviously made changes in the last 24 hours, 48 hours. And that's why that happened. But anyway, tonight we'll now have 8 matches. It was supposed to be 7 on each night, but due to the New Day match being moved, and then Austin having the match, it now means we had 7 last night, 8 tonight, which would confirm my theory that tonight's going to be longer. But here, let's go through it. So I don't know the order since the New Day has been added to tonight, but I'm just going to go through the order that Wikipedia has listed these matches. So let's start with the New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. I think Sheamus and Ridge Holland will pick up the win here. They've got the numbers advantage. I don't think New Day need the win. I think Sheamus, Ridge Holland and Butch will look pretty weak if they lose. I wouldn't be surprised if the New Day win, but I would give it to Sheamus and Ridge Holland. I'm going to go with them. Got the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match. The women's title's on the line. I'll be shocked if Selena and Carmella retain. As for who's going to win, I could see it being any of these 3 teams. I really could. I've got a feeling it's going to be Natalya and Shayna Baszler, although I hope it's not. I think Sasha Banks and Naomi just bring too much to the women's division. Plus, with Charlotte Flair retaining, she will need faces to go up against them. I'm assuming Ronda Rousey is going to disappear again, so Charlotte will need opponents, and she needs Sasha Banks and Naomi. So if those 2 are in a team, that would make the SmackDown Women's Division pretty weak, in my opinion. So I think it was going to be between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, or either Natalya and Shayna Baszler. I'm going to go with Natalya and Shayna Baszler, because again, I think there's more value in Ripley and Morgan as single competitors, whereas Natalya and Shayna Baszler, no one really gives a shit about them, so just throw them together and give them the tag team belts, why not? Anything goes. Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. to me, Sami Zayn says this match gives him the advantage. Honestly, I don't. How does it give him the advantage? A guy that has been known for like years, 2 decades now, of like doing stunts and weapons. Surely an anything goes match gives him the advantage. Wouldn't Sami Zayn have more of a chance in a straight up wrestling match? But Sami Zayn is claiming this anything goes match means that he can't lose now. So I don't understand it, man. To me, that's stupid. I think Sami Zayn will win. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. Who knows? Maybe the cast of Jackass could come out and help Johnny Knoxville defeat Sami Zayn, and then that could continue Sami Zayn's conspiracy stuff. It could happen. I mean, I think actually that would be a pretty cool finish. I mean, that's not a bad idea, actually. I should have booked this shit. But no, I think Sami Zayn will win. But here, if the Jackass cast comes out and helps Johnny Knoxville defeat Zayn, then I guess that's a pretty good idea too. Up next, it's Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory. Who could win this? I mean, Austin Theory is McMahon's protege, but Pat McAfee's great. I think Austin Theory will probably win this match, but I like Pat. But I'm probably going to go with Austin just because he is McMahon's protege. So yeah, Austin Theory I think will just about edge Pat McAfee. But again, this is like a 50-50 match. It could go either way. Raw Tag Team Championships, we've got RK Bro, Orton and Riddle versus the Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy. Who's winning this one? I think RK Bro will win, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Street Profits win. I can't see Alpha Academy getting the job done. The Street Profits have almost turned heel over the past couple of weeks, and you've got to wonder, how much longer will Orton and Riddle be kept together? I mean, Orton, is a main eventer on his own, and Riddle is a guy that very well could be in the main event, but I think for him to do so, to establish himself as a main event star, he's probably going to have to, go on his own again and split up for Orton. So we'll see. I think it's been a good tag team, but maybe it's run its course. I'll probably go with the Street Profits to win this one. Edge versus AJ Styles. I think Edge will win. I can see why people are saying AJ, but I think Edge will get the victory. It should be a good match. The build-up has been pretty shit, but it should be a good match nonetheless. Edge always delivers. AJ always delivers. Put these two together and they should deliver, but we'll see. Bobby Lashley versus Almost. Very difficult to call, in my opinion. Almost undefeated, getting pushed to the moon, easily defeating everybody, but Bobby Lashley, just coming back from injury, never got pinned or submitted to lose his title, lost it due to an injury. So this is, technically, he's the unbeaten WWE Champion, so it's hard to call this. I mean, if Bobby Lashley loses, then he looks weak. He does look weak, there's no doubt about it. But if Almost loses, then he loses his unbeaten streak, and he's no longer invincible. So I would not be surprised if Almost wins this. I think Lashley should win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Almost wins. You know what? I'm going to go Lashley. I'm going to have faith in Lashley, but I think Almost will pick up the victory. But I like Lashley. I'm going to go Lashley. And in the main event, it's Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Winner takes all, apparently, so the titles will be unified. I am going to go with Brock Lesnar. Now, I know people are saying that Brock doesn't need this win, that Brock's going to, leave after WrestleMania, but does Roman Reigns need this win? I mean, come on, he's held the belt now for nearly 600 days. Like, what are they going with here? What is the point of having the belt on Roman Reigns for so long? I mean, if he doesn't lose here, then do you have to wait till SummerSlam for him to lose? Whereas I feel like Lesnar will just lose wherever you want him to lose. Just pay him the money and Lesnar will turn up and take the pinfall. But with Reigns, I mean, if he doesn't lose to Lesnar tonight, then who does he lose to? I mean, where do they go from here? I don't know. I'm going to say Brock Lesnar wins, but again, this is very close. Could go either way. Should be a good match, though. That's my predictions, guys, for Night 2. Really looking forward to Lesnar Reigns. Looking forward to Edge, AJ. I'm surprisingly looking forward to Bobby Lashley Almost. Just two big guys like that. And although Almost dwarfs Bobby Lashley, but Bobby Lashley's such a fucking machine. So I'm interested in seeing that. And I'm kind of wanting to see how Pat McAfee gets on against Austin Theory. So for me, Night 2 is definitely the standout night. But, I mean, who knows? It could be disappointing. We'll have to wait and see. If the big matches don't deliver, then you're in trouble because the rest of the card isn't exactly, you know, the first few matches aren't exactly great. But we'll see. We'll see. Till next time, guys, that is it. Let me know who you think's going to win down below. I'll catch you later in the next one. Until then, though, peace.